Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share a story with you that's deeply personal, a journey that has reshaped my understanding of family, love, and what it means to belong. For those who are new here, my name is Sarah, and I'm an adoptive mom to two wonderful children. My own story, however, started with being adopted myself. I've always known I was adopted, and my parents, the amazing people who raised me, were always open and supportive. They gave me a life filled with love, and for that, I am eternally grateful. But as I got older, especially after becoming a mother myself, a question started to grow louder in my heart. A question I had tucked away for years. Who was my birth mother? What were the circumstances that led her to make the most difficult decision a mother can make? It wasn't about replacing the family I had. It was about understanding a missing piece of my own puzzle. The desire to know my roots, to see a face that might look like mine, became a gentle but persistent pull. So, about a year ago, I began the search. It was a daunting process, filled with paperwork, dead ends, and moments of doubt. I used a DNA testing service and hired a specialist who helps adoptees find their birth families. There were days I felt like giving up, thinking it was a chapter that was meant to remain closed. My husband, bless his heart, was my rock through it all. He would remind me, whatever we find, we'll face it together. My kids, in their innocent way, were just excited about the idea of a secret grandma. Their simple optimism kept me going. The months crawled by. We'd get a potential lead. My heart would soar with a mix of hope and terror, only for it to be another false start. It was an emotional roller coaster. I started a journal to document my feelings, the hopes, the fears, the what-ifs. What if she didn't want to be found? What if she had another family and my appearance would disrupt her life? What if she rejected me? All these questions swirled in my mind, keeping me up at night. The fear of rejection was the biggest hurdle. After all, the story began with being given away. What if history repeated itself? Then, one Tuesday afternoon, the phone rang. It was the investigator. My heart leaped into my throat. She said 3 words that stopped my world. We found her. My hands started shaking. I sat down, trying to process the information. Her name was Eleanor. She lived just a few states away, but the investigator's voice turned somber. She gently explained that Eleanor was very ill. She was in hospice care and her time was limited. The news hit me like a tidal wave. All the scenarios I had imagined, all the conversations I had practiced in my head for years, suddenly felt meaningless. The years I had hoped for, the slow getting to know you period, the casual coffees, all of it evaporated. I was faced with a stark reality. It was now or never. The fear of rejection was replaced by a more urgent fear, the fear of running out of time. I had to go. I had to meet her, even if it was just for a moment. My husband and I packed a small bag that night. I didn't know what to bring, what to wear, what to say. How do you prepare for a meeting 35 years in the making? A meeting that would also be a farewell. I felt like I was floating outside my own body. The 2-hour flight felt like an eternity. I stared out the window at the clouds, my mind a blank slate. All the questions I had compiled over the years suddenly felt so small, so insignificant. The only thing that mattered was seeing her. We arrived at the hospice facility. It was a quiet, peaceful place, but the air was thick with unspoken goodbyes. A kind nurse led us down a hallway to her room. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. The nurse paused at the door and whispered, "She's weak, but she's been asking if you were coming." Those words broke through my numbness. She knew. She was waiting. I took a deep breath and walked in, and there she was. Lying in the bed, she was frail, a wisp of the person she once must have been. But when her eyes met mine, I saw it. I saw my eyes. I saw the shape of my face. It was like looking into a mirror that showed a different path, a different life. I knelt by her bedside, my carefully prepared words gone. All I could manage to whisper was, "Hi, it's me. I'm Sarah." A faint smile touched her lips. Her hand, thin and fragile, reached for mine. Her voice was barely a whisper, raspy with effort. "My girl," she breathed. "I knew you'd have your father's eyes." Tears streamed down my face, tears I hadn't even realized I was holding back. All the fear, the anger, the years of wondering, they just melted away in that one moment, replaced by a profound, overwhelming sense of connection. We didn't have much time, maybe a few hours over 2 days. The grand conversations I had imagined never happened. Instead, we communicated in small, precious fragments. She told me she was a painter. She told me she had loved my father, who had passed away years ago. And she told me, with tears in her own eyes, that giving me up was the hardest and most selfless thing she had ever done. "I wanted you to have everything," she whispered. "A mom and a dad, a stable home. I couldn't give you that, but I have thought of you every single day." She had kept a small, worn photograph of me as a baby. She had followed my life from a distance through the open adoption agency, celebrating my milestones in secret. Knowing that she had always held me in her heart, that I was never forgotten, was the greatest gift she could have given me. It wasn't the reunion I had ever pictured, but in a way, it was more meaningful. It was raw, honest, and stripped of everything but the essential truth: a mother's love. I introduced her to my husband over a video call, and I showed her pictures of her grandchildren. A light sparked in her eyes as she looked at their smiling faces. "They're beautiful," she said. "You're a good mom." Hearing those words from her, my first mother, healed a part of my soul I didn't even know was broken. She passed away peacefully the morning after I left. I was heartbroken, but my heart was also full. I had found her. I had the chance to look into her eyes, to hold her hand, and to tell her that I had a wonderful life, thanks to her sacrifice. I got to say thank you, and I got to say goodbye. The journey to find her ended at her bedside, but in reality, it was just the beginning of a new chapter of understanding for me. It gave me closure, it gave me peace, and it gave me a story to one day share with my own children. This experience has taught me that family is woven from threads of love, not just biology. It's about sacrifice, support, and connection, whether you have a lifetime together or just a few precious hours. Thank you for letting me share this incredibly personal part of my life with you all. It's a reminder that it's never too late for love and healing. If you enjoyed this story or found some meaning in it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories about life, family, and finding our way. Thank you for being here. See you next time.